There is no situation so dark, no obstacle so great that God cannot make a way. What seems impossible to the human mind is but an opportunity for divine intervention. The walls that stand before you, the chains that bind you, the mountains that block your path, none of these can withstand the power of faith. When you believe, truly believe, the way will appear, and what seemed immovable will dissolve before your eyes. The physical world reflects the inner world. If you see only obstacles, it is because your inner vision is clouded with doubt and fear. But when you awaken to the truth that God has already provided the way, even before you ask, your reality begins to shift. The Red Sea did not part when the Israelites stood in fear. It parted when they moved forward in faith. Their deliverance was waiting, but they had to take the first step. So it is with you. The way is already made, but you must step into it. You are not trapped. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. The very moment you turn inward and surrender your struggle to God, a shift begins. It may not be visible to the natural eye, but deep within, the divine forces are rearranging circumstances, opening doors, and making the impossible possible. The prison you feel locked in is not real. It is the illusion of limitation. God does not see barriers, only possibilities. When you align with His vision, your world will transform. Do not wait for proof before you believe. Believe and the proof will follow. When you accept that God is working behind the scenes, preparing the perfect outcome, your fear loses its power. The walls of Jericho did not crumble because of human effort. They fell because faith demanded it. Speak to your mountain with unwavering certainty, and it will move. It is not your struggle that brings victory, but your absolute trust in the divine. God's way is not always revealed in advance. Often it unfolds step by step, each moment leading to the next in perfect order. Your task is not to figure out how it will happen, but to know that it already has. When you declare with full conviction that your path is clear, you will begin to see signs of its manifestation. The phone call, the opportunity, the unexpected help, it will come, and it will come at the perfect time. What once seemed like a dead end will become a passage. The sickness, the financial crisis, the heartbreak, these are not the end of your story. They are the moments before the breakthrough. When all seems lost, when every door appears shut, that is the exact moment God steps in. His ways are higher, His methods beyond comprehension, but His promise is unshakable. He will make a way where there is no way. It does not matter how long you have waited or how impossible it seems. The God who formed the stars, who commanded the light to shine from darkness, is the same God who is working in your life now. Open your heart, trust completely, and watch as the way is revealed before you. The breakthrough is already happening. The miracle is already on its way. Believe it, receive it, and walk forward in faith. There is a divine intelligence at work in your life, orchestrating every event, every circumstance, every so-called delay, to bring about a result far greater than you can imagine. When you stand at the edge of despair, thinking there is no way forward, that is the moment when the unseen hand of God is preparing your deliverance. The human mind sees limitations, but the spirit within you knows no boundaries. What appears to be an impossible situation is merely the unfolding of a divine plan you have yet to comprehend. You may be asking, how can I move forward when every door is closed? But the truth is, no door is ever truly shut to those who walk in faith. The obstacles you see are the illusions of the physical world, shaped by doubt, fear, and the belief in limitation. But the moment you shift your perception and recognize that God has already made a way, your reality begins to change. It does not matter how severe the situation appears. It does not matter if you have been told there is no hope. The world may say no, but God always says yes to those who align with His truth. The first step in seeing the way out of your impossible situation is to stop looking at the problem and start looking within. The answer is not in the struggle, not in the endless worrying, not in the desperate search for solutions. The answer is in the stillness. in the quiet confidence that God is already moving on your behalf. The moment you accept this, the burden lifts. You no longer carry the weight of uncertainty, for you understand that divine order is working in ways beyond human understanding. God does not require your effort, He requires your trust. The walls of Jericho did not fall because of human strength, but because of obedience to divine instructions. The sea did not part because of panic, but because of unwavering faith. Your situation, no matter how dire, is no different. The moment you stop wrestling with it and surrender it completely to God, things begin to shift. Solutions arise where there were none. A way forward appears in the midst of chaos. The prison doors swing open not because you force them, but because divine power has commanded it. Faith is not just believing that God exists. It is knowing that He is active in your life right now. It is the deep, unshakable conviction that even in the silence, even when nothing seems to be happening, the way is being prepared. The caterpillar may feel trapped in darkness, unaware that transformation is taking place. But in perfect timing, the cocoon breaks and it emerges as a butterfly. So it is with you. Your struggle is not permanent. What appears to be an ending is merely the preparation for a glorious new beginning. There is no situation too complex for God to resolve. There is no sickness He cannot heal, no loss He cannot restore, no door He cannot open. The key is not to ask how it will happen, but to trust that it already has. When you pray, do not plead as if you are separate from the answer. Instead, declare with confidence that your way is clear, that the impossible is being made possible, that you are walking in divine favor. Speak as though the problem is already solved, and watch as reality conforms to your faith. Your words carry power. Every thought, every declaration, every emotion shapes the world around you. When you declare that you are stuck, you reinforce that reality. When you affirm that nothing is working, you align yourself with struggle. But the moment you shift your words and declare that God is making a way, that miracles are unfolding, that doors are opening, everything begins to change. It is not magic, it is divine law. The moment you see beyond the illusion of limitation, the prison doors swing open, the chains fall off, and you step into the freedom that was yours all along. Do not let fear dictate your vision. Fear will always show you walls, closed doors, and reasons why you cannot move forward. But faith reveals the path beneath your feet, the light in the darkness, the invisible hand guiding you. The moment you choose to see through the eyes of faith, your entire world shifts. What once seemed like a dead end becomes a gateway to greater blessings. The pain you endured becomes the foundation of your strength. The delay you resented becomes the very thing that positioned you for something greater. The world will tell you that you need proof before you believe, but God tells you to believe before you see. This is the essence of faith. When the Israelites were told to march around Jericho, there was no visible sign that the walls would fall. When Jesus told the sick to rise, there was no physical evidence that healing had occurred until they obeyed. Your breakthrough is waiting for you to step into it, to act as if the way is already made. The moment you walk in the certainty of divine provision, miracles unfold before you. Your impossible situation is not meant to break you. It is meant to awaken you. It is meant to lift you beyond human reasoning and into the realm of divine understanding. Every great victory comes after a moment that seemed insurmountable. Every answered prayer comes after a season of waiting. But those who refuse to give in to doubt, those who stand firm in the conviction that God is making a way, will always see the impossible bow before them. Do not measure your future by what your physical eyes see. What you see is temporary, but the unseen is eternal. The delays, the struggles, the closed doors, they are not permanent. The moment you stop fighting against them and start trusting in divine order, they lose their hold on you. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are not at the mercy of external conditions. You are a child of the Most High, and He has declared that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. No obstacle can stand before the power of God, working within you. The answer is already here. The way is already made. The miracle is already unfolding. Do not wait for the evidence to believe. Believe now and the evidence will follow. Speak as if the victory is already won and you will walk into it. Move forward with absolute confidence, knowing that the hand of God is clearing the path before you. What once seemed impossible is bowing to the power of faith. Your breakthrough is inevitable. Your way is opening. Walk boldly, for God is leading you into something greater than you have ever imagined. There is no obstacle that can withstand the power of faith. What seems like an impossible situation to you is already being worked out by divine hands. You may look around and see no way forward, but that does not mean the way is not there. It simply means you have not yet aligned yourself with the vision of God. When you stop relying on your own understanding and surrender to His higher wisdom, you will see what was hidden from you before. The walls before you are not real in the eyes of God. They are only as strong as your belief in them. The moment you believe in the way instead of the obstacle, the way will reveal itself to you. You may be surrounded by circumstances that tell you there is no way out. The bills are piling up, the diagnosis is grim, the opportunities seem scarce, every direction you turn you see resistance. But that is not the final word. The physical world is not the ultimate reality. It is merely a reflection of the state of your faith. If you accept what you see as permanent, you close yourself off to the miracle. But the moment you declare that God has already made a way, even before you see it, the foundation of your circumstances begins to shift. The unseen forces of the divine begin to move on your behalf, aligning events, opening doors, preparing a breakthrough that will come in ways you never expected. You must choose today whether you will believe in the problem or the promise. The problem shouts at you, demanding your attention, pulling you into fear and doubt. But the promise whispers in your heart, steady and unshaken, reminding you that God never fails. Every miracle begins with someone who refuses to accept the limitations of the world. Every breakthrough happens when someone decides that faith is stronger than fear. The Red Sea did not part for those who stood still in doubt. It parted for those who stepped forward despite their fear. You must do the same. You must walk as if the way is already made, and you will find that it is. Faith is not passive. It is not sitting back and waiting for a sign. Faith is action. It is speaking the victory before it happens. It is walking as though the walls have already fallen. It is rejoicing before the miracle arrives. When you align yourself with this truth, when you live as if the way is already open, you invite the impossible to bow before you. The world responds to what you believe, not to what you wish for. If you believe in lack, you will see lack. If you believe in struggle, you will see struggle. But if you believe that God has already provided, your reality will begin to mirror that truth. God's way is never the way of the world. The world tells you that you need resources before you move forward, that you need evidence before you believe. But God says, believe first, and the evidence will follow. The world tells you to fear the unknown, but God tells you that He has already gone ahead of you to prepare the path. The world tells you that you are trapped, but God tells you that you are already free. Which voice will you listen to? The moment you choose to trust in divine provision over human limitation, you step into a reality where miracles are not only possible, they are inevitable. There is no delay in divine timing. What appears to be a delay is often preparation. The seed does not break the ground the moment it is planted. It grows in silence, in the unseen realm, until the moment comes when it bursts forth into the light. So it is with your breakthrough. Just because you do not see movement does not mean nothing is happening. Trust that every prayer has been heard, every step of faith has been noted, and every obstacle is already being dismantled in ways you cannot yet see. Fear will always try to convince you that you are alone, that no one sees your struggle, that nothing will change. But that is the greatest lie of all. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Even in your darkest hour, the divine presence has been guiding you, whispering to you, making a way where there seemed to be none. The battle is not yours to fight. It is already won. The moment you stop fighting and start trusting, the battle dissolves. The moment you let go of worry and hold on to faith, the answers come. The moment you stop looking at the impossibility and start declaring that God is making a way, you step into the reality of the miracle. Do not wait for the situation to change before you believe. Believe now and the situation will change. Do not wait for the breakthrough to rejoice. Rejoice now and the breakthrough will manifest. Everything is unfolding according to divine order. Nothing is out of place. Every closed door, every delay, every difficulty is positioning you for something greater than you can imagine. Your part is not to figure out how it will happen. Your part is to stand in unwavering faith, knowing that it already has. The greatest transformations happen when you surrender completely to divine will. When you release the need to control, the need to understand, the need to see immediate results, you allow God to work freely in your life. There is nothing outside of His reach. There is no challenge too great, no burden too heavy, no path too lost for Him to restore. When you align yourself with divine truth, you become unstoppable. No force of darkness can stand against the light within you. No limitation can remain when you declare that God is your source. No fear can hold you when you walk in the assurance that all things are working together for your good. Your mind may tell you that your situation is too difficult, that your past mistakes have disqualified you, that you have waited too long. But none of that is true. There is no situation beyond redemption. There is no failure that cannot be turned into victory. There is no loss that cannot be restored. The moment you accept that God's power is greater than any challenge you face, your circumstances begin to align with that truth. The healing begins, the opportunities arise. The doors that were once locked begin to swing open effortlessly. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are standing at the threshold of a miracle, and all that is required of you is faith. Speak as if it is already done. Walk as if the way is already open. Rejoice as if the answer has already arrived. The power of God is moving in ways you cannot see, working through situations you thought were hopeless, bringing you closer to the breakthrough that has already been set in motion. Stand firm, do not waver, do not be moved by what your eyes see, but by what your heart knows to be true. The way is open, the answer is here, your victory is certain. Keep moving forward, for the impossible has already been made possible. Your reality is not shaped by what is happening around you. It is shaped by what is happening within you. Every limitation you see in your life is only a reflection of the limitations you have accepted in your mind. The moment you change your belief, the moment you declare that God has already made a way, the barriers begin to fall. You are not bound by circumstances. You are not trapped by what appears to be an impossible situation. You are being prepared for something greater. What looks like a dead end is only the foundation for a divine breakthrough. The delay is not denial, it is alignment. The waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. You may feel that time is running out, that you have been waiting for too long, that nothing is changing. But the truth is, the moment you plant the seed of faith, the harvest begins to form in the unseen. You do not need to know how it will happen, you only need to know that it will. The same power that parted the Red Sea, the same power that made water flow from a rock, the same power that multiplied 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands, is the power working in your life right now. It does not matter what the world says is possible. It only matters what God has already declared. Every time you declare that there is no way, you limit yourself from seeing the way that is already before you. Every time you speak defeat, you align yourself with the very obstacles that are trying to hold you back. But the moment you speak in faith, the moment you declare that God has already provided, the moment you walk as if the answer is already here, the impossible begins to move. Doors you never knew existed will open. People you have never met will be positioned to help you. Resources you never expected will find their way to you. The whole universe will shift to make room for the manifestation of what you have believed. God does not need logic to work a miracle. He does not need perfect conditions. He does not need human approval. He does not need the situation to make sense. When He says it is done, it is done. Your only task is to align yourself with that truth. You do not need to struggle. You do not need to fight against what is unfolding. All you need to do is surrender in faith, to trust in the unseen, to know with absolute certainty that the way is already made. The biggest enemy of your breakthrough is doubt. The moment you entertain doubt, you begin to undo the work that has already begun. The moment you let fear take root, you delay what has already been set in motion. But when you stand firm, when you refuse to be moved by what your eyes see, when you hold on to faith even in the midst of uncertainty, nothing can stop what God has ordained for you. Every great move of God begins with someone who dares to believe when everything around them says otherwise. You do not need to wait until everything is perfect to act as if your prayer has been answered. You do not need to wait until you see evidence before you celebrate. You must rejoice now. You must walk now. You must act as if it is already done now, because in the realm of the divine, it is already finished. The moment you align yourself with that reality, the manifestation follows. There are no limits in God. There are no restrictions. There are no impossible situations. What seems like an end to you is only the beginning of something greater. What seems like a loss is only a setup for restoration beyond what you can imagine. Your part is not to worry about how it will happen. Your part is to believe, to trust, to stand firm, to hold on to the promise even when everything around you contradicts it. Do not let the voices of fear drown out the voice of truth. Do not let the opinions of others shake your faith. Do not let temporary struggles make you forget that your victory is eternal. Everything that you are facing right now is preparing you for something beyond what you can comprehend. Every challenge, every delay, every closed door is working together to bring you into alignment with the breakthrough that is already yours. Stop looking at what is missing and start thanking God for what is already done. Stop waiting for signs and start declaring that the way is already made. Stop doubting and start walking as if it is already yours. The power that created the universe is the power that is working in you now. There is nothing too great, nothing too difficult, nothing too far gone for God to restore, renew, and transform. Your situation is not permanent. Your struggle is not eternal. Your circumstances are not the final say. The final say belongs to the one who created all things, and He has declared that you are victorious. He has declared that the way is open. He has declared that you are already free. Walk in that truth, live in that truth, declare that truth, and watch as the impossible bends before the power of your faith. It does not matter what the world says. It does not matter what statistics say. It does not matter what the odds are. When God speaks, everything shifts. When God moves, no force in the universe can stand against it. When God opens a door, no one can shut it. And He is opening doors for you right now in ways you cannot yet see, in places you never expected, through paths you never imagined. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not without a way. The way is already before you. Step into it with confidence. Believe in it with all your heart. Speak it into existence. Rejoice as if it is already done, because it is. You are not meant to live in limitation. You are not meant to be bound by circumstances. The same power that spoke the world into existence is the power that is breathing life into your situation right now. There is no need to struggle. There is no need to worry. There is only the need to trust that the way has already been made. The moment you shift your awareness from lack to abundance, from fear to faith, from impossibility to certainty, the reality around you will conform. The world is only a reflection of what you accept as true. If you accept struggle, you will experience struggle. If you accept delay, you will experience delay. But if you accept that God has already made a way, then no force in existence can block what is meant for you. Every time you wake up and say, I don't see a way, you are reinforcing the illusion of limitation. Every time you declare, nothing is working out for me, you are aligning yourself with delay. But the moment you say, God has already provided, the moment you say, my way is already open, the moment you act as if your blessing is already here, the world must respond. You do not need to force it. You do not need to chase it. You only need to align yourself with it. There is no power in the universe greater than the power that resides within you. That power does not beg. That power does not struggle. That power simply speaks, and it is done. You may think you are waiting on God, but God is waiting on you to step out in faith, waiting on you to believe without doubting, waiting on you to walk as if the promise is already fulfilled. Too many people wait for conditions to change before they believe. They wait for signs before they act. But the divine does not work that way. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That means you must have the evidence in your heart before you see it in the physical world. You must rejoice before the miracle manifests. You must move before the door opens. You must prepare as if the answer has already arrived. If you truly knew that your breakthrough was guaranteed, how would you act? If you truly believed that your prayer had already been answered, how would you live? Would you worry? Would you stress? Would you doubt? No, you would move in confidence. You would wake up with peace. You would walk in joy. You would speak with certainty. That is the secret. That is the key. To live as if it is already done, because in the unseen realm it is. God does not operate by human logic. He does not need resources to be in place before He blesses you. He does not need conditions to be perfect before He moves. He does not need approval from anyone to bring your vision to life. When He declares it, it is already complete. But you must step into that completion with faith. The moment you begin to waver, the moment you begin to question, the moment you allow fear to creep in, you slow down the manifestation of what is already yours. But when you stand firm, when you refuse to accept anything less than the promise, when you declare without hesitation that the way is open, there is no force that can stop what has already been decreed. People may look at your situation and say it is impossible. They may tell you to be realistic, to accept what they see as the truth. But what they see is not the final reality. What they see is only a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. Your future is shaped not by what has been, but by what you now choose to believe. The world has no power over you. Circumstances have no authority over your destiny. The only thing that matters is what you accept in your heart as true. When you know without a doubt that your way is open, then it must be so. Too many people give up too soon. They pray for a miracle, but when they do not see immediate results, they let doubt creep in. They allow their current reality to dictate their faith. But faith is not about seeing, it is about knowing. Faith does not say, I will believe when I see it. Faith says, I believe it, and because I believe it, I will see it. That is the divine law. That is the unshakable truth. Everything that exists was once unseen. Every breakthrough, every blessing, every miracle was once a thought, a belief, a certainty in someone's heart before it manifested in the physical world. You must stop looking at your situation through the eyes of limitation. You must stop measuring your future by what is happening now. You must stop allowing your faith to waver because of temporary conditions. The moment you say, God has already made a way, and you refuse to accept anything else, the way begins to reveal itself. It may not come how you expect. It may not unfold the way you plan, but it will come. It must come. That is divine law. That is spiritual truth. God is not bound by time. He is not limited by human understanding. He is not restricted by natural laws. What seems impossible to man is nothing to God. What seems too far gone to the world is nothing in the hands of the Creator. There are no closed doors in God's kingdom. There are no barriers too strong for His power. There are no situations beyond his ability to change. The moment he speaks, reality, the moment he moves, all opposition crumbles. The moment he declares, it is finished. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, you are not trapped. The way is already made, the answer is already here, the blessing is already released. You must align yourself with this truth. You must reject every thought that contradicts it. You must silence every voice that speaks against it. You must declare with absolute certainty that God has already done it. And as you walk in that faith, as you move with that assurance, as you live in that conviction, you will see the impossible bow before you. There is no situation too big for the power of God to transform. No obstacle is permanent unless you believe it is. What seems like an impossible wall before you is nothing but an illusion waiting to be dissolved by faith. The moment you stop agreeing with limitation, it loses its grip. The moment you decide that you will no longer accept struggle as your portion, the doors begin to open. You do not need to know how. You do not need to figure it out. That is not your job. Your job is to believe. Your job is to declare that the way is already made. Your job is to move in expectation, not hesitation. When you do this, the mountains move, the rivers part, and the barriers that once held you back crumble before you. Do not let circumstances dictate your faith. Do not let what you see with your physical eyes convince you that things are not changing. There is more happening in the unseen realm than you realize. Just because you cannot see it does not mean it is not unfolding. The seeds of your breakthrough have already been planted. The shift has already begun. You are not waiting for God to move. He has already moved. The only thing left is for you to align yourself with His truth and receive what has already been prepared for you. Doubt is the only thing that can delay what is already yours. Fear is the only thing that can keep you in the same place. The moment you release all hesitation, the moment you stand firm in your knowing, the unseen begins to take form. Everything in life follows the law of faith. If you believe you are stuck, you will stay stuck. If you believe things are getting worse, they will. But if you believe that your breakthrough is inevitable, if you declare that your blessing is already here, if you walk as if you are already free, then freedom must manifest. It does not matter how long you have been waiting. It does not matter how many times you have tried before. It does not matter what anyone else says. What matters is what you decide right now. Will you continue to allow fear to dictate your life? Will you continue to believe in impossibility? Or will you step into the power that has been given to you? The power to shape your reality, the power to command things to shift, the power to stand firm and know that what has been promised cannot be denied. Many people wait for a sign before they believe. They wait for doors to open before they take a step. But faith does not wait. Faith does not hesitate. Faith moves forward even when there is no visible path. That is the secret. That is how mountains move. You must act as if the way is already open. You must speak as if the answer is already here. You must walk as if the victory has already been won. Because the truth is, it has. The moment you align with this, everything changes. God is not limited by time, and neither are you. What may seem like delay is only an illusion. What may seem like an obstacle is only a test of your faith. The moment you shift your perspective, the moment you see beyond the physical and into the unseen, you will realize that nothing has ever been withheld from you. The only thing that was missing was your alignment with it. The moment you stop asking how and simply trust that it is done, the way is revealed. You do not need permission to step into your blessing. You do not need approval from anyone to walk into what has already been promised to you. The only thing you need is the certainty that it is already yours. Speak it, declare it, stand in it. No more waiting, no more wondering, no more doubting. The way is open, the path is clear. Now walk in it with full confidence, knowing that nothing can stop what God has already set in motion. You are not here by accident. You are not in this moment by chance. Every challenge you have faced, every hardship you have endured has brought you to this exact place, and in this place you have a choice. Will you continue to believe in struggle, in lack, in limitation, or will you open your heart to the truth that has been waiting for you all along? The truth that you were never meant to suffer, the truth that you were never meant to be stuck, the truth that the door was always open, but you had to believe it to see it. God is not withholding anything from you. There is no force working against you, no unseen enemy keeping you bound. The only chains that exist are the ones you have accepted. The only barriers in your way are the ones you have agreed to. The moment you reject them, they lose all power. The moment you decide that you will no longer live according to struggle, everything shifts. You do not need to earn your freedom. You do not need to prove your worthiness. You were already chosen. You were already approved. The moment you accept this, the moment you walk in it with unwavering faith, everything must align with the truth you have. You may look at your situation and think, but I have tried before, I have prayed before, I have believed before, and nothing changed. But that is not true. Everything changes the moment you decide it has changed. The moment you declare with complete certainty that your breakthrough is already here, it must manifest. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Because the only time that exists in the realm of faith is now. When you say, "One day I will be free," you are pushing your freedom into the future. When you say, "One day my situation will change," you are delaying the very blessing that is already available to you. But when you say, "It is done, it is mine, the way is open now," the entire universe responds. Everything rearranges itself to match the truth you have claimed. You are more powerful than you have been told. You are more capable than you have believed. The authority to change your life has been in your hands all along. You do not need external proof. You do not need anyone to validate your faith. You simply need to stand in it. Speak as if it is already done. Move as if the path is already clear. Feel as if you have already received it. And watch as the impossible bends to your belief. God has always made a way. He has never failed. There has never been a situation too great, a challenge too overwhelming, a problem too complicated for him to solve. But the way is only revealed to those who trust. The way is only visible to those who refuse to be swayed by fear. That is why faith is not just a concept, it is a law. The law that governs all things. The law that says what you believe you will receive. What you expect you will experience. What you claim you will see. The greatest trap is waiting for things to change before you believe they have changed. That is not faith. That is doubt disguised as patience. Faith does not wait for evidence. Faith does not wait for permission. Faith moves forward as if the way is already made, and in doing so, it creates the very reality it expects. This is how miracles happen. This is how breakthroughs unfold. Not by waiting, not by hoping, but by knowing. The moment you stop seeking signs and start living in certainty, everything shifts. The moment you stop asking for proof and start walking in expectation, doors open. You do not need to beg for what is already yours. You do not need to plead for what has already been promised. You only need to rise up in full confidence, knowing that the impossible has already been made possible, and walk in that truth. Doubt will try to creep in. Fear will try to whisper lies. Your physical reality may still show signs of struggle, but none of that matters. What matters is your inner state. What matters is what you hold on to in your heart. Because your reality is only a reflection of what you believe most deeply. And the moment you shift your belief, your reality must follow. There is no need to struggle. There is no need to force anything. The moment you surrender to the truth that it is already done, peace washes over you. Worry disappears. Anxiety fades. Because you are no longer hoping, you are knowing. You are no longer waiting, you are receiving. You are no longer lost, you are found. Everything is aligning for your good. Every closed door was protection, every delay was preparation, every challenge was shaping you. And now the time has come. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. The way is open, the impossible is being undone. The only thing left is for you to step forward in absolute faith, knowing that you are already standing in your answered prayer. Stand firm in the knowing that God has already made a way for you. There is no need to wait, no need to question, no need to doubt. The moment you align with the truth that your breakthrough is here, it must manifest. Walk with confidence, speak with certainty, and move as if every obstacle has already been removed. The impossible is only impossible to the mind that refuses to believe. But to the one who stands in unwavering faith, all things are possible. Your blessing is not in the future, it is now. Your freedom is not on the way, it is here. Trust it, claim it, and walk boldly into the life that has already been prepared for you. There is a divine order to your life, a path laid before you by the unseen hand of God. You may wonder in the quiet moments of your heart if the person standing before you is the one destined to walk beside you. There is no need for confusion, for the signs are clear to those who listen, not with their ears, but with their spirit. When God chooses someone for you, He whispers through the alignment of circumstances, the stillness of your soul, the gentle nudge that defies all logic, yet feels more real than anything your eyes have seen. You will know, because there will be peace, not the fleeting kind, nor the shallow assurance that comes from words alone, but a deep, unwavering calm. Even in the midst of uncertainty, even when storms arise, there will be an inner knowing that this connection is not of the world, but of the divine. God does not bring confusion. Where there is strife, where there is relentless questioning, where the heart is restless, it is not of Him. But when the heart finds its rest in another, when silence speaks louder than words, when love flows without effort or force, God is present. Look for the way your spirit responds. Do you feel uplifted? Does this person draw you closer to faith, or do they pull you away? God will never send you a love that leads you into darkness. True love, the one He ordains, will make you more of who He created you to be. You will not have to shrink. You will not have to fight to be understood. In their presence you will expand. Your purpose will be magnified, your vision clearer. A divine connection does not compete with your calling, it complements it. Watch for confirmation in the quiet moments. The world rushes, but God moves in stillness. The answer is not always in the grand gestures, but in the smallest details. The way they pray for you without being asked. The way their presence feels like home. The way they see in you what God has placed within before you ever spoke it aloud. God speaks in patterns, in repetitions, in echoes that find their way back to you. Pay attention. If He is showing you again and again, through dreams, through scripture, through the unshakable feeling in your spirit, do not ignore it. There will be doors that open effortlessly. The love God writes for you does not require you to beg, to chase, to convince. His blessings flow not by force but by faith. If you find yourself endlessly striving to hold on to something, it is not meant to stay. But when love is from God, it remains. Even when tested, even when stretched, it finds its way back. It does not falter under pressure, but grows stronger. It is patient, it is kind. It reflects the very nature of God's love. And above all, you will know by the presence of divine joy, not happiness that depends on conditions, but joy that exists in all seasons. It is a love that teaches, that refines, that elevates both of you closer to God. If your love is making you more like Him, if it is filled with grace, with selflessness, with unwavering commitment, then it is a love that carries His signature. Do not fear missing what is meant for you. God is not the author of loss. What He has written cannot be erased. What He has spoken cannot be silenced. Trust in His guidance, surrender to His will, and let Him reveal in His perfect time the one He has chosen for you. There is a divine orchestration in every step you take, a sacred rhythm that moves beneath the surface of your reality. You may not always see it, but God is constantly aligning your path with the one who is meant to walk beside you. Love, when divinely appointed, does not arrive in chaos. It does not bring confusion, nor does it ask you to compromise the essence of who you are. When God desires for you to be with someone, He will make it known in ways that transcend human understanding. You will not have to chase, you will not have to force, you will not have to plead. What is ordained by heaven cannot be lost on earth. There is a whisper in your spirit long before the answer appears in the physical realm. It is the gentle urging, the quiet knowing, the way your heart is drawn, not in desperation, but in peace. God's voice is never loud, never demanding. It is in the stillness that you will hear it most clearly. If you feel led towards someone with an unshakable certainty, if their presence feels like a reflection of the prayers you have whispered in secret, then perhaps you are standing in the presence of something greater than mere coincidence. God does not operate in chance. He moves in divine purpose. Watch the way they love. Not just the way they love you, but the way they love God, the way they love others, the way they move through life with grace and kindness. A person sent by God will not only love you in words, but in action. They will not seek to possess you, to control you, to shape you into an image of their own making. Instead, they will love you with the freedom that God's love offers, a love that liberates rather than confines, that encourages rather than suppresses, that nurtures rather than demands. God's will does not manifest in chaos. If you find yourself constantly battling for clarity, if the relationship is filled with endless strife, if you are left questioning your worth, then this is not the love He has chosen for you. Divine love is not without trials, but it is built to withstand them. It does not waver under pressure. It does not flee at the first sign of difficulty. The person God has for you will be willing to weather storms with you, not because they are forced to, but because their heart has been knit to yours in a way that is deeper than circumstance. There will be alignment, a deep harmony that does not need explanation. Your purpose will not be diminished in their presence, rather it will be illuminated. The calling on your life will not be set aside, but strengthened. Love that is ordained by God does not distract from your destiny, it fuels it. The right person will not pull you away from the path God has set before you. They will walk it with you, step by step, with faith as your foundation. You will not have to abandon your dreams, your values, or your faith to make it work, for the right love aligns rather than disrupts. God speaks in repetition. If you are meant to be with someone, the signs will not come just once. They will appear in moments of prayer, in scripture, in the stillness of your spirit. Perhaps it is the way their name keeps finding its way into your heart. Perhaps it is the way you feel an inexplicable peace when you are with them. Perhaps it is the way your soul feels at rest, as if you have arrived at a place you have always known but never visited before. He will confirm what is from Him. He will remove what is not. If something repeatedly falls apart, if doors continue to close, if every effort to hold on to something results in more pain than peace, then let it go. What God ordains does not require you to beg for it to stay. The right person will not have to be convinced to choose you. They will recognize you as part of God's plan for their life, just as you recognize them in yours. Love is not always immediate, nor is it always easy, but it will always be right. If God has chosen someone for you, the journey may not be without struggle, but it will be without doubt. Even in moments of uncertainty, even in seasons of growth, the foundation will remain unshaken. There will be a depth to the connection that surpasses surface-level attraction. You will see glimpses of eternity in their presence. They will remind you of who you are in Christ, of the promises that God has spoken over your life, of the faith that sustains you when all else fades. God's timing is never rushed. You may feel the weight of waiting, the longing for clarity, the ache of wondering when the promise will be fulfilled. But if you trust Him, you will see that He is not delaying, He is preparing. What is meant for you will not require manipulation or desperation. It will come when your heart is ready to receive it, when your spirit is aligned with His will. Let go of fear. Fear will tell you that love must be chaste, that you must settle, that you must compromise. But God does not give fear. He gives peace. And when the right person arrives, when the one He has chosen stands before you, you will not have to question. There will be a stillness in your soul that tells you without words that you have stepped into something sacred. Trust the process. Trust the signs. Trust that what is meant for you cannot be taken away. Love, when it is from God, will not just fit into your life, it will transform it. It will reflect His love, His grace, His divine purpose. And when you find it, you will know, not because the world says so, not because of fleeting emotions, but because the Spirit within you will whisper, "This is the one." There is no need to rush, no need to grasp. no need to force what is already written in the heavens. The one God has chosen for you is already set in motion, already being guided toward you in ways beyond your comprehension. The divine timing of love is never late, never misplaced, never uncertain. It unfolds in the quiet, in the unseen, in the moments where faith is tested and patience is required. God is not merely preparing someone for you. He is preparing you for them. He is molding your heart, refining your spirit, shaping your character, so that when you stand before the one He has chosen, you will be ready to receive them fully. You will know them by the peace that surrounds them, the way your soul feels unburdened in their presence. This is not the temporary rush of infatuation, nor the fleeting excitement of something new. It is the kind of stillness that feels like home, as if you have found a missing piece you never knew you had lost. There is no need for pretense, no need to prove yourself, no need to be anything other than exactly who God created you to be. The right person will recognize you, not because of how well you fit into their expectations, but because their spirit will recognize yours. This love will not distract you from God. It will draw you closer to Him. It will not demand that you shrink to make room for someone else's needs. It will not pull you away from your purpose, nor will it cause you to lose yourself in the process. Instead, it will magnify the very best parts of who you are, revealing new depths of your own strength, your own faith, your own ability to love. The right person will not compete with your destiny. They will walk beside you as you step into it. Love that comes from God is built on a foundation of faith. It is not shaken by external circumstances, not broken by temporary hardships, not dictated by the shifting emotions of the moment. It is steady, unwavering, enduring. It does not come with doubt, nor does it leave you questioning your worth. When God places someone in your life, you will know because their love will reflect His love. Patient, kind, selfless, filled with grace. They will not be perfect, for no human is, but they will be perfectly aligned with the path God has set before you. There will be signs, confirmations that cannot be ignored. It may come in the repetition of a thought that will not leave you, the way their name seems to appear in unexpected places, the way you feel their presence, even when they are not near. Perhaps it is the way your prayers seem to align, the way their words echo the very things God has been speaking into your heart. Perhaps it is the way you feel a sense of divine protection around your connection, an unexplainable certainty that this is not something ordinary. God does not send confusion, He sends clarity. And when you are meant to be with someone, the truth of it will settle in your spirit long before it manifests in the physical world. Do not fear the waiting. Do not grow weary in the process. Every delay is divine preparation. Every moment of longing is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. The love that is meant for you cannot be rushed, nor can it be taken away. If you have to chase it, force it, beg for it, then it is not from God. What He has written for you will unfold naturally, with ease, with grace, with the quiet assurance that comes from knowing it was never yours to lose. There will be tests, moments where patience is stretched, where faith is required, where surrender is necessary. You may not always understand why things unfold the way they do, why certain people enter your life only to leave, why doors seem to close before the right one opens. But trust that every step is leading you closer, every lesson is refining you, every moment of uncertainty is preparing you for the certainty that is to come. God's love story for you is greater than anything you could script for yourself, and when it arrives, you will understand why nothing before it ever worked. Love is not about possession, not about control, not about bending another person to fit your desires. It is about alignment, about two souls moving toward the same light, about finding someone whose presence amplifies your faith rather than diminishes it. You will recognize them because their love will remind you of God's love. Steady, unconditional, filled with purpose. It will not be a love that binds you, but one that frees you. It will not be a love that requires you to sacrifice your peace, but one that enhances it. Do not settle for anything less than what is divinely appointed. The world may tell you to compromise, to take what is available rather than wait for what is right. But the world does not know the plans God has for you, nor does it understand the depths of what He has prepared. When you trust Him, you will see that He is never late, never indifferent, never mistaken. The one He has chosen for you is already moving toward you, just as you are moving toward them. The meeting will not be forced. The connection will not be fragile. It will be something that only He could have orchestrated, something that carries the unmistakable signature of the divine. If you find yourself doubting, if fear whispers that you will miss what is meant for you, silence it with faith. What belongs to you cannot be taken. What is written in the heavens cannot be erased. Love, true love, the love that is meant for you, is already on its way. And when it arrives, you will know, not because the world confirms it, but because the Spirit within you will whisper, "This is it." When God orchestrates the union of two souls, He does so with purpose, intention, and divine wisdom. The signs He provides are not merely coincidences, but rather gentle nudges, guiding hearts toward the path He has set for them. When God wants you to be with someone, the connection feels effortless, like two puzzle pieces fitting together perfectly. There is a sense of peace that surpasses all understanding, an unexplainable knowing that this person is meant to be in your life. One of the most significant signs God wants you to be with someone is alignment in purpose. The person He has chosen for you will not pull you away from your destiny, but will instead encourage and support your divine calling. They will uplift you in your spiritual journey, pushing you closer to God rather than away from Him. There will be no compromise on faith, values, or principles. Instead, there will be a shared vision of serving and glorifying God together. The presence of this person in your life will bring clarity, not confusion. Another indication of God's hand in your relationship is an overwhelming sense of inner peace. Love from God does not bring unnecessary turmoil, excessive anxiety, or doubt. Of course, no relationship is perfect, and challenges will arise, but there will always be a firm foundation of trust and stability. When God is at the center, fear has no place. His love casts out all fear, and the person He intends for you will not make you question your worth, your place in their life, or the future of your relationship. Instead, they will reassure you, cherish you, and treat you with honor and respect. Divine connections also come with growth, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. God does not place someone in your life to stunt your progress, but to nurture and develop it. This person will challenge you to become better, to embrace your potential, and to walk in faith. They will be your partner in prayer, standing with you through trials and victories alike. Together you will find yourselves growing in patience, kindness, and wisdom. Their presence will refine you, not drain you. God's will is often revealed through His timing. Sometimes He asks us to wait because He is preparing us and the person He has destined for us. A relationship aligned with His purpose will not be forced or rushed. It will unfold naturally with divine orchestration that leaves no doubt in your heart. Delays do not mean denial, they often signify preparation. If someone is meant for you, no amount of distance, obstacles, or external circumstances can prevent God from bringing you together at the right time. His plans are higher than ours, and when we trust in Him, we allow Him to work in ways beyond our comprehension. Another sign is the presence of divine confirmation. When God speaks, He often does so in multiple ways, through Scripture, through the counsel of wise believers, and through the deep convictions He places in our hearts. There will be moments when you receive confirmations in unexpected ways, a sermon that resonates with your situation, a feeling of assurance when you pray about the relationship, or even through the wisdom of godly friends and mentors. God does not operate in confusion. He confirms His will in ways that bring certainty, not ambiguity. In a relationship ordained by God, love is selfless. It mirrors the love described in 1 Corinthians 13. patient, kind, not envious or boastful, not proud or dishonoring. The person God has for you will love you in a way that reflects Christ's love, unconditional, forgiving, and unwavering. They will not manipulate, deceive, or mistreat you. Instead, they will seek to serve you, honor you, and build a relationship rooted in faith and mutual respect. Their love will not be based on fleeting emotions, but on a commitment to journey through life together, anchored in God's grace. Obstacles and trials will come, but when a relationship is divinely appointed, you will find yourselves overcoming them together rather than allowing them to drive you apart. God does not promise an easy road, but He does promise to walk with you every step of the way. The person He has for you will stand beside you through storms, not abandon you at the first sign of struggle. They will pray for you, encourage you, and remind you of God's promises when doubt creeps in. A relationship blessed by God will also bear good fruit. It will inspire joy, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, and self-control. Toxicity, manipulation, and constant chaos are not from God. If a relationship consistently brings more pain than joy, more stress than peace, it is worth asking whether it aligns with God's will. The right person will contribute to your overall well-being, bringing out the best in you rather than draining your spirit. When God wants you to be with someone, there is divine protection over your relationship. He shields it from unnecessary harm, keeps you from settling for less, and ensures that you do not walk into something that is not meant for you. You may not always see it in the moment, but His ways are higher and His wisdom is perfect. If a door closes, it is often for your protection. If a relationship ends, it is sometimes God's way of making space for the person He truly intends for you. God's desire is for us to experience love that reflects His heart. He is a God of love, and the relationships He ordains carry the essence of His character: grace, truth, sacrifice, and faithfulness. If you find yourself questioning whether someone is from God, ask yourself, does this relationship bring me closer to Him? Does it align with His Word? Does it inspire growth, peace, and purpose? Does it reflect the fruits of the Spirit? When God places someone in your life, He will make it clear. His peace will accompany the relationship, His presence will be evident, and His hand will guide every step. Trust in His timing, surrender to His wisdom, and rest in the assurance that what He has planned for you is far greater than anything you could imagine. His love story for you is already written, and when the time is right, He will reveal the person He has chosen, one who will love you as He does, with a love that endures, strengthens, and glorifies Him. When God orchestrates a connection between two people, it is never by accident. He is a God of purpose, order, and divine intention. He knows what is best for your life, and when He desires for you to be with someone, He will ensure that everything aligns in His perfect time. There will be no need for excessive striving, manipulation, or forcing things to happen. His plans unfold with a sense of divine flow, and you will find that what is meant for you will never require you to compromise your faith, values, or sense of self. One of the clearest ways God reveals His will is through the consistency of His peace. When God is at the center of a relationship, there is an unshakable calm that surrounds it. Even in the face of difficulties, there is a deep-rooted assurance that this is where you are meant to be. This peace is not dependent on circumstances, but on the presence of God in your union. It reassures you when doubts arise, silences fears, and reminds you that God is in control. You will not be consumed by worry or plagued with uncertainty, because when something is truly from God, He confirms it with an inner tranquility that cannot be explained by logic alone. Another indication that God wants you to be with someone is the way that person brings out the best in you. They will not pull you away from your purpose, but will encourage you to walk boldly in it. They will inspire you to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. A God-ordained partner will recognize the calling upon your life and support it wholeheartedly. They will not stifle your growth or make you feel as though you need to shrink yourself to accommodate them. Instead, they will celebrate who you are and help you become all that God has created you to be. Love that is from God is not rooted in selfishness or personal gain. It is sacrificial, giving, and deeply committed. The person God has for you will love you in a way that mirrors Christ's love, unconditionally, patiently, and with a servant's heart. They will seek to uplift you rather than tear you down. Their love will not be possessive or controlling, but instead, it will grant you freedom to flourish while remaining firmly rooted in loyalty and commitment. Their actions will align with their words, and their consistency will be a testament to their character. God often speaks through the people around us. Wise counsel can serve as confirmation of His will. The right relationship will not cause division among those who truly love and care for you. Instead, it will be affirmed by those who walk in wisdom and discernment. Spiritual mentors, family members, and trusted friends may recognize the divine nature of your relationship and encourage it, affirming what God has already placed in your heart. A relationship that is truly from God will not require you to isolate yourself from your support system. Instead, it will strengthen your community and bring about unity. Timing is an essential aspect of God's plan. Just because something does not happen immediately does not mean it is not meant to be. God may ask you to wait not as a punishment but as preparation. The person He has for you may still be going through their own season of growth, just as you are being refined and strengthened. If God asks you to be patient, trust that He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything according to His perfect plan. A delayed blessing is not a denied blessing. It is often God's way of ensuring that everything is aligned before He brings it to pass. One of the most beautiful aspects of a God-ordained relationship is the depth of emotional and spiritual intimacy that develops. When two people are brought together by God, their connection transcends surface-level attraction. There is a depth that cannot be fabricated. A meeting of souls that is rich, meaningful, and profound. Conversations are filled with purpose, and time spent together strengthens faith and deepens trust. There is a shared desire to pursue God together, to pray together, and to seek His will in every aspect of the relationship. Obstacles and challenges will arise, but a relationship that is ordained by God will withstand the storms. Love is not proven in moments of ease, but in times of difficulty. When God is at the center, trials will not drive you apart. Instead, they will bring you closer together. The person He has for you will stand beside you, not only in moments of joy, but also in moments of hardship. They will fight for the relationship rather than walk away when things get tough. Their commitment will not waver, and their love will be resilient, rooted in a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. In a relationship that is truly from God, there will be a mutual willingness to sacrifice and serve one another. Love is not about what one can take, but about what one is willing to give. The person God has for you will not only love you with words, but with actions. They will be willing to compromise where necessary, to support you when you are weak, and to walk alongside you in both the mundane and extraordinary moments of life. And their love will be steadfast and enduring, not dictated by fleeting emotions or changing circumstances. God also protects His children from relationships that are not meant for them. If something is not from Him, He will often make it evident through red flags, persistent unease, or closed doors. If a relationship requires you to compromise your faith, constantly question your worth, or endure consistent heartache, it may not be His will. God does not intend for His children to settle for less than what He has prepared for them. If He removes someone from your life, trust that He is making space for something greater. Letting go may be difficult, but what is truly meant for you will never require you to force it to fit. When God wants you to be with someone, He will open doors that no one can shut. Opportunities for growth, connection, and shared experiences will come naturally. The relationship will be marked by divine favor, with moments of confirmation that leave no room for doubt. Even in moments of uncertainty, there will be signs that affirm that you are walking in alignment with His will. God's ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Sometimes His plan may not unfold in the way we expected, but it will always be better than what we imagined. When we surrender our desires to Him, we allow Him to lead us to what is truly best for us. The person He has for you will not only be a romantic partner, but a spiritual companion, a best friend, and a co-laborer in Christ. Together you will build something that glorifies Him, reflecting His love and grace to the world. Trusting God's timing, His process, and His wisdom is essential in recognizing His will for your relationships. He does not withhold good things from His children, and if He has placed a desire in your heart for a God-honoring relationship, know that He will fulfill it in His perfect way. Patience, prayer, and discernment are key in waiting for the person He has prepared for you. The journey may not always be easy, but the destination will be worth it. When God brings two people together, it is for a purpose that is greater than themselves. It is to glorify Him, to serve Him, and to reflect His love in a way that inspires and blesses others. True love, the kind that is divinely orchestrated, will not only transform your life, but will also impact those around you. It will be a testimony of God's faithfulness, a reminder that He is the ultimate author of love stories, and that what He has planned is always worth the wait. When God aligns two souls, the connection is not based on fleeting emotions or worldly standards, but on a deep spiritual foundation that withstands the test of time. The love He ordains is not about temporary pleasure or surface-level attraction. It is about something eternal, something rooted in His divine plan. When God wants you to be with someone, there is a divine harmony between you, an unspoken understanding that surpasses human logic. You feel at home in their presence, not because they are perfect, but because they reflect the kind of love that brings peace, stability, and purpose. There is no pressure to impress or perform. Instead, there is a deep sense of being accepted as you are, while still being encouraged to grow into who God has called you to be. Love that comes from God is never manipulative or forceful. It does not seek to control or dominate, but to uplift and empower. The person God has for you will not lead you into confusion, dishonor, or sin. Instead, they will encourage you to seek Him first, to grow in faith, and to build a relationship centered on His Word. Their love will not require you to abandon your values, compromise your beliefs, or sacrifice your peace. Rather, it will reaffirm what God has already spoken over your life. There will be a partner in your spiritual journey, someone who prays with you, intercedes for you, and walks alongside you in faith. When God orchestrates a relationship, He ensures that it aligns with His timing, His plans, and His purpose for your life. He is not a God of disorder, and He does not place people in your life to create chaos or confusion. If a relationship constantly brings more pain than joy, more doubt than assurance, and more tears than peace, it is worth evaluating whether it is truly from Him. Love that is divinely ordained is meant to edify, to nurture, and to build, not to break, destroy, or leave you feeling empty. The right person will not exhaust your spirit, but will bring rest to your soul. They will be a reflection of God's love, patient, kind, faithful, and unwavering. God's will is often confirmed through doors that open effortlessly. When He wants you to be with someone, you will not have to force the relationship to work. Of course, every relationship requires effort, but there is a difference between working toward growth and striving to hold something together that was never meant to be. A God-ordained connection unfolds naturally. There will be divine appointments, unexpected confirmations, and moments that make you realize that only God could have orchestrated this. The right person will come into your life as a blessing, not a burden. Their presence will feel like an answered prayer, not an endless struggle. A significant sign that a relationship is from God is the fruit it bears. The Bible teaches that we can recognize things by their fruit. A relationship that is truly meant for you will bear the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. If a relationship constantly brings strife, dishonesty, jealousy, manipulation, or toxicity, then it is not aligned with God's heart. The person God has for you will not be perfect, but they will consistently strive to love you in a way that reflects Christ's love. Their love will be selfless, sacrificial, and steadfast, standing firm through the trials of life. There is a difference between worldly love and godly love. Worldly love is conditional. It is based on circumstances, emotions, and personal gain. It fades when times get tough and disappears when expectations are not met. Godly love, however, is built on faith, commitment, and grace. It is not just about feelings, it is about choice. Choosing to love even when it is difficult, choosing to serve even when it is inconvenient, and choosing to remain faithful even when the world gives every reason to walk away. The person God has for you will not love you only when it is easy, but will stand by your side through every season, honoring the commitment that was made before God. God's love story for you is not based on fairy tale romance, but on the deep, abiding love that comes from Him. The right person will love you with the kind of love that endures. They will not give up on you when challenges arise, but will fight for the relationship with prayer, patience, and perseverance. They will understand that love is not about perfection, but about grace, forgiveness, and an unwavering commitment to walk together in faith. Their love will be consistent, not conditional. It will be a reflection of God's covenant love, the one that does not waver, even in the face of trials. A God-ordained relationship is not just about companionship. It is about partnership in purpose. When God brings two people together, He does so with a mission in mind. The right person will not only love you, but will also walk with you in fulfilling God's purpose for your life. They will encourage your calling, support your dreams, and stand with you in faith. Together you will be stronger, more effective, and more impactful in the kingdom of God. Your relationship will not be just about personal happiness, but about glorifying God in all that you do. When God writes your love story, He does it in a way that brings Him glory. He removes distractions, protects you from counterfeits, and guides you toward what is truly meant for you. There will be divine confirmations along the way, moments where God speaks through His word, through people, and through the peace He places in your heart. The right person will not only love you, but will lead you closer to Him. Their presence in your life will be a reflection of God's goodness, a reminder that He is faithful to fulfill His promises. The waiting on God's timing requires patience, trust, and faith. It can be difficult to wait, especially when the world around you seems to be moving at a different pace. But God is not slow in keeping His promises. He knows what is best for you, and He is preparing both you and the person He has for you in ways you may not even realize. The delays are not meant to discourage you, but to develop you. They are shaping you into the person who will be ready to receive the love God has prepared. If you are in a season of waiting, trust that God is working, even when you cannot see it. The most important thing is to seek God first. When He is at the center of your life, everything else will fall into place in His perfect time. Love should never take you away from your relationship with God. It should draw you closer to Him. The right person will not replace God in your heart, but will walk with you in faith, encouraging you to seek Him even more. They will love you in a way that reflects His love, honoring you, cherishing you, and building a relationship that stands on a foundation of faith. Love that comes from God is worth the wait. It is worth trusting His process, surrendering to His will, and believing that He is working all things together for your good. His plans are always greater than anything we could imagine. The person He has for you will be the one who brings you peace, supports your purpose, and walks with you in faith. When you find them, you will know, not because of worldly signs, but because of the undeniable presence of God's hand in your relationship. And when that happens, you will realize that everything you waited for, prayed for, and trusted God for was always worth it. When God wants you to be with someone, He makes it clear through peace, alignment, and divine confirmation. His love story for you is not one of confusion or compromise, but of purpose and fulfillment. The right person will not only love you deeply, but will also walk with you in faith, helping you grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. A relationship ordained by God is one that stands firm through trials, bears the fruit of the Spirit, and ultimately glorifies Him. Waiting on His timing requires patience, but His plans are always greater than anything we could imagine. If you are in a season of uncertainty, trust that God is working behind the scenes, preparing both you and the person He has for you. When the time is right, everything will align, and His presence will be evident in your union. Until then, seek Him first, trust His process, and know that what He has planned for you will always be worth the wait.